Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of FFG Live. We are here today to talk about some Star Wars Armada. My name is Evan. I'm joined by Michael, Brian, and Brooks, and also by this thing here in front of us.
Yes,
this massive miniature is, of course, the Super Stardestroyer, which is coming. It's coming. It's on its way. But in advance of it being actually here and in your hands, we want to give you guys the chance to see it a little bit in action. So today we're gonna have some questions for Michael and Brooks just to talk about the Super Stardestroyer, what that's all about. We'll take some questions from the chat rooms and see what you guys have to ask about, and then we'll see the Super Stardestroyer roll around and probably blow up some rebels, is what I imagine happening.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I'll do my best. Let's see what I can do to stop this.
Yeah, we'll see. Did you field any A-wings?
I do.
Yeah, I see some A-wings right there. And
Okay, well,
they just happen to be, not coming
I'm sorry,
straight
you're doomed.
at it, but,
Don't count me out yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we're gonna get into some questions right away.
Yeah.
All
Let's
right.
see what we got.
Okay, so first off, we have this massive Super Stardestroyer, this glorious miniature, coming to Armada.
Yes.
Probably gonna be, have a big effect on the game. What do you, both of you, kind of see the impact of this having maybe on the meta of Armada?
Well, so the biggest thing is going to be players will have an entirely new, different type of threat to deal with. A ship that represents more than half of the opponent's fleet. That's very tough and can dish out a lot of damage, but can be maneuvered around. So players will have to have a plan. Do they want to try and take the Super Stardestroyer head on in a fight? It's possible. It's very difficult. And you'll probably lose some ships along the way, but it's also, if you destroy it, worth a lot of points. Or do you want to try and outmaneuver it and play for objectives? But then you're going to take all the firepower it has to offer.
So you mentioned outmaneuvering it a lot in here. I'm guessing Super Stardestroyer, you can't move around that well, maybe.
It doesn't corner super well.
Okay.
You can't Tokyo drift it across the map?
Well, not so much. It has no innate yaw. So in Armada terms, it just means you have to plot nav commands if you're going to make turns. And they have to be the dial, or treated like the dial if you're going to turn it all.
Interesting.
So you really have to pay attention to turning and sometimes turn like a turn or earlier than you thought you might want to turn.
Yeah. Interesting. So how do you think this is going to affect rebel lists in particular? Since obviously Imperials now have the choice, to include this or not, or to think about facing it. The rebels, not getting a ship with this release. How do you expect this to shake up their options and kind of what they are bringing to the table?
Well, so the fleet I have right here,
this
normally I would bring another small ship or two and a couple more fighter squadrons, but I've decided to swap those out for a Mon Calamari cruiser because it has the firepower to deal a significant amount of damage and, more importantly, the durability to take a couple hits, because I can't completely outmaneuver the ship. It's going to get to fire somewhat, so I want a ship that's really durable that can survive that attack.
I think it's going to definitely one of the banes of a Super Stardestroyer is fighters. So I think people are going to want to be on their fighter game. They're going to want to build combos that allow them to harass the Super Stardestroyer. But like Brooks was saying, you're going to have to also pay attention to having enough, survivability. The ability to stay out its arcs, especially its prime arc, and to just kind of weather the storm and do the damage you need to, because it does have vulnerabilities.
And it also does pitch a lot of dice, though. You mentioned its primary arc there. So it's got obviously a lot of firing arcs. It's maybe we should lift the miniature off for a second so people can see the base.
I can also put the card up.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah, throw that.
works
There we go. Even better.
Today I've brought the command prototype.
Okay.
Which is not the diciest of Super Stardestroyers.
Not the diciest. It is probably the least dicey.
It is the least dicey.
Okay.
But the front arc is 4 reds and 4 blues.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's not exceptional. But what is really interesting about the Super Stardestroyer is it throws 3 attacks.
Right.
Unlike normal sized ships. So they have to be from different arcs. They can't, you don't have like an innate gunnery team. So you still want to get somebody to cross your 2 arcs so you can focus fire on that one ship.
Right.
So I'm going to be doing my best to not let you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's kind of the most effective way to make use of the Super Star Destroyer's 6 arcs?
Well, you're gonna, in my opinion, you're gonna want to. You always want to make sure you're turned toward enemy at the beginning of the game. That helps a lot. Like I was saying, you have to navigate so that you are threatening everybody with that front arc. A lot of times people are just not going to stay there. They're going to move around to your sides. So you sort of have to manage who is on which side of your ship. In my opinion, give them other disincentives to not, hang out next to your ship or like try to get into a blind spot. As you can kind of see from the arc lines, it takes a while once you get past the front arc to get into another like double arc opportunity. So like really, you careful turning, like just 1 point away will like shift where that line is.
The side arcs are no joke though. They're still pretty serious, especially if I get too close to you.
Yeah, for sure. But I really just want to roll a lot of dice in your face. So
So there are 4 variants of the Super Star Destroyer, correct?
Yes.
All right. And what do each of those bring to your fleet? I know 2 of them are legal in tournaments, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So tell us a little bit about the 4 different variants of it and kind of what each of them brings.
I'll kind of start with the 2 I've played the most, which is the command variant and the assault prototype. Those ships are they're the legal for tournament play because they come in under the points allowance for standard play. I think the command is personally my favorite because it comes with 2 fleet command slots. So not only is it a huge warship, it lets you, pop those commands to do things to help the Super Star Destroyer and to help any escorts that you bring along.
Right.
So that's its real role. It's not the dice hurler. The assault prototype has, more dice, considerably more firepower, but it can be tricked out with more upgrade slots, more weaponry.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have a fleet command slot.
Interesting.
So you're trading that off right away. You're going for pure damage. And I think Brooks can tell you a little more about the supersized versions.
Yeah.
Yep.
The
So
executors.
the 2 Executor class Star Dreadnought cards, the 1 and the 2, are meant for like larger thematic games. We released the Sector Fleet rules a couple of months ago. That is the format you'll see these ships the most because they cost more points than you could take in a standard sized game. They have even more dice. They have even more health, increasing their hull values, their shield facings, so that way they can be a true centerpiece of your fleet. They're going to be really fun in that format. It's going to take a whole Rebel fleet from a standard sized game and more just to fight the enemy's Executor class Star Dreadnought.
Yeah.
Never mind whatever escorts they have. So it'll be great if you want to try and recreate the Battle of Endor or Space Battle over Hoth or any of those others.
Yeah.
It's still interesting to see you can run these ships either heavily loaded out with upgrades or just the ship relying on its health and dice pools and spend a little bit on upgrades and then spend more on the supporting fleet. Those are both valid strategies. It depends how many of your eggs you want in one basket. It's a big, tough basket, but it's still only one.
Do want to get back into talking about building a fleet around the Super Star Destroyer. We do have a couple questions on Twitch right now that I want to ask. So first off, are there any special like ramming or overlap rules with the huge ships like the Super Star Destroyer, and can a flotilla ship stop the Super Star Destroyer from moving if it blocks it?
The ship is going to move just like every other ship in the game moves, except for it's going to measure from the rear base's front joint rather than the front. But if it collides with another ship, it'll move back to the previous joint and stop in place, and the other ship will take some damage, and it may take some damage too. If it's a flotilla, it won't. But
It does have one other significant difference just because of the sheer length of the base. It can't do this sort of move where a ship plans to do this kind of, step in kind of move.
Sure.
It can't do that because it can't overlap the movement tool when it plots its course.
Sure.
If
Sure.
you turn, you have to commit to turning in that direction.
Exactly.
You can't shimmy back and forth.
Yeah.
You can't get funky with how you move.
No,
the Super Star Destroyer.
You can't side slip. You're basically going turn.
Yeah, that seems to make sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
It's
yeah.
one of the challenges.
Sure.
Yeah.
And will large ship upgrades work on the Super Star Destroyer?
The large ship is the Super Star Destroyer is a huge ship. A huge ship is not a large ship. Huge ships have their own special rules that are laid out in the rulebook that comes with the product.
Mm-hmm.
So no, they won't.
So what was, as you were kind of creating this thing, what was like the biggest design challenge with bringing this to Armada?
So the biggest challenge was, as a ship that represents more than half of your fleet points unupgraded, and you go up from there, there's going to be fewer other ships in play to interact around. We had to make sure that handled well with all the different objectives in the game. And so the presence of the Super Star Destroyer in some objectives are going to kind of change the emphasis on them, sometimes in ways you wouldn't expect. For example, the Intel Sweep navigation objective, you assign a ship that goes across the board collecting objective tokens, trying to get more than your opponent. Traditionally, people will assign the objective ship marker to a small fast ship. If you assign that to your Super Star Destroyer, you have an objective ship that is almost impossible to kill without winning the game anyways.
Right.
So it will change the emphasis of some of those games into more of a slugfest against the Super Star Destroyer. That being said, there are plenty of objectives that it's certainly very weak against, particularly those that deal with critical hits or emphasize maneuvering around obstacles, because those are definitely its weaknesses.
Yeah. Also, like, anything that is going to let somebody get around, score points, like superior positions. It's really easy to get around this thing and to score points off of its rear arc. So that's a tough objective. Objectives is it's the way it interplays with objectives is going to be one of the interesting challenges about building a fleet with it. And also, like, when you show up at the table, and picking from the least bad option if you are not the second player.
And one note that I know a lot of fans have been curious about. You will score half points off of the Super Star Destroyer if you can get halfway through its very impressive hull values. So you won't always have to destroy the ship to have any chance of winning, but you will need to put in some damage against it if you want to collect points.
And so when you're running a Super Star Destroyer, you can't afford to be complacent about your health, which I think is one of the more fun aspects of it. Actually, you actually really do have to think about how you're operating the ship and when you're doing your commands.
You're certainly not invulnerable.
Yeah.
How is people's response to the announcement of the Super Star Destroyer and like Rebellion in the Rim and all of these what's coming up for Armada? How's that kind of compared to what you imagined?
I think it's met or exceeded my expectations, especially the Super Star Destroyer. We announced that a while ago, but it's no secret.
We did announce it a while ago.
Yeah, it's no secret we've been working on that for a long time.
Yeah.
And this is certainly something I really was excited to do when I started working on this line, and to see how much it has excited everybody about this model, this mini, and just what we're doing with it in gameplay. That's really rewarding. I have also been really happy with how enthused people seem to be about the upcoming campaign.
Yeah.
Actually, since I just got back from Adepticon yesterday, and I haven't actually passed this on to you yet this morning, but I had a lot of folks come up to me after we announced Rebellion in the Rim, who were very enthusiastic about it, and so I want to pass that on to you, because that was primarily your project, Michael.
Thanks.
Well, we'll certainly be featuring Rebellion in the Rim on this live stream. Not this live stream precisely, but a FFG live stream in the future.
And speaking of campaigns for
Yes.
Armada, we have a question on YouTube if the Super Star Destroyer can be used with the previous Armada campaign, the Corellia campaign.
It's a part of fleet building. The Corellian conflict allows you to build a more or less standard-sized fleet. There's you have every reason to take a Super Star Destroyer.
There you go.
Alrighty then. So the Super Star Destroyer is obviously impressive as this huge miniature, but the expansion also comes with a bunch of cards, like new cards for the game. What are like one or two of your favorite of the new cards from this expansion?
That's a good question. I picked out some of my favorites for my fleet today.
Oh yeah, you want to throw them in the tray?
Yeah, well, I mean, one of my favorites actually is it's not the flashiest card, but I really like Executor. Because it breaks the fundamental rule of the game. You can have as many command tokens of as many types as you like.
Yeah.
And
that's cool.
Since the Super Star Destroyer huge ship generates its own extra command tokens, you can start to bank those up for when you need them. And there are some other cards that has synergy with that I find really interesting.
So we should have coordinated this actually. Executor is probably my favorite too because of that interesting utility. So not only can you bank command tokens however you like, but there are a couple of other upgrade cards in the expansion that use those command tokens in ways we haven't seen before. So I guess I'll pick actually the Admiral you've brought to your fleet, which is Admiral Piet.
Yes.
And he synergizes very well with the Executor. Admiral Piet is the first Admiral we've done who does not give a fleet-wide bonus. He gives his bonus specifically to one ship each turn by allowing that ship to spend a command token and then resolve the command token as if it was a dial instead. So this lets you, if you've prepared your tokens or if you have a way to give them out, but that'll take a little more time and effort, you can issue commands that you hadn't planned ahead of time. He works very good on the Super Star Destroyer, obviously, because having an Admiral that only affects one ship in your fleet doesn't matter as much if one ship is your fleet. But he'll also be useful on other fleets containing Imperial vessels that want a little bit more flexibility and are looking for that and have the ability to save up those command tokens.
Very nice. So I need to catch up on a couple questions we have on the chat here.
Sure.
Number one, people want to know how Moff Gergerod, I can never pronounce his name correctly, Gergerod interacts with the Super Star Destroyer. Does he work to help it move? He doesn't have a limitation on the size of the ship, so how does he
Moff
work?
Gergerod's ability works as written.
All right. There we go, everybody.
It's quite impressive and a little frightening to be on the receiving end of.
Let me see. I think I got that one.
Just overall, we intentionally designed the Super Star Destroyer to use as many of the existing rules of the game as possible. That way you don't have to learn a whole lot of new information or have things resolved differently against different types of units on the table. There's, other than the half points, there's some limited explanation for setup, the pass rule, which you'll see used in our game, and that's about it.
Do you guys think that we're going to see the Super Star Destroyer played like at the highest level in tournaments and at Worlds or something like that?
I both hope so, and I also expect so.
Yeah.
Because I know, if I know one thing about Armada players, about the Armada community, they like a challenge.
They certainly do.
I'm sure somebody is going to want to pioneer that and take it into the next round of tournaments as soon as this thing releases. What do you think?
Well, you're right. I think it will be a challenge because the ship's unique lack of maneuverability is going to throw a lot of players off, and also the way that its fire and arcs are laid out, it's not very easy to concentrate a whole lot of fire on one specific target. So it's probably not going to be just destroying other large ships in single attacks. Its strength is really in its durability combined with its persistent firepower. So you want to try and force a prolonged engagement and use your weight and your inertia to kind of bring the enemy down and outlast them.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. It's definitely it's a ship you have to think about, and I think that's one of the most rewarding things about playing it, and that I think will be a feature of when people bring it into competitive play as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talked about this a little bit. We've kind of hinted at it, but obviously Super Star Destroyer takes up a lot of points in your fleet.
Yes.
What are some strategies maybe for building around the Super Star Destroyer? Do you go all in and just put a bunch of upgrades on the Super Star Destroyer? Do you put some, maybe supporting ships around it? What kinds of things can you do to fill out the rest of your list?
It really depends what you want to do with it. You can build a very heavily offensively oriented Super Star Destroyer. The Assault prototype and the Executor 2 have multiple weapons slots. You can equip multiple turbo lasers, multiple ion cannons, multiple weapons teams, and really supercharge your firepower that way.
Yeah.
The command variants, you can have a whole slew of fleet commands, either to use with the rest of your fleet or just to power up the Super Star Destroyer itself, although some of them will be more useful for that than others. It has a high squadron value. You can push a large squadron force with it and back that up with its firepower and its durability. It's not a carrier that's going to get destroyed easily. So you really have a lot of different options because a lot of the Imperial commanders will each have a different way they'll affect its play. And Michael, you've obviously had to build a fleet here.
Yeah. Well, so today I chose to go rather upgrade heavy. I wanted to build some internal synergy for the Super Star Destroyer. I knew I also wanted a couple of escort ships. I find that more fun for me than just having like one big ship. And I also I wanted to try out some of the synergy between these fleet commands and the escorts that I was bringing along. So I brought raiders. I also find raiders are really good at being a versatile threat to both capital ships and squadrons. So I tried to build a fleet around token generation and token control, and using those to feed my fleet commands.
Awesome. So you've got. Let's just kind of walk through your list real quick because I think we're going to transition into actually playing in a moment here.
Yeah.
What do you got?
So I brought Admiral Piet.
Yep.
I think he's he's a great low points admiral who just makes the Super Star Destroyer perform better.
Yeah.
I brought the Executor so that I can. Let me see here. I brought. I'm just gonna throw a bunch of my cards out here on the tray.
Let's throw them in there.
So we can just talk about it. Here's my fleet commands. And the rest of my upgrades.
So that's all equipped on that Super Star Destroyer there.
Yes. Yep. Because it has 3 officer slots.
Yeah.
And I could, it can have a commander, and it can have a turbo laser, offensive retrofit.
Yep.
All those kinds of things.
Yep.
So I brought.
That's an obscene amount of upgrades.
It's a lot. It's a lot, and then there's a risk involved with that, right? Because if the ship does lose half of its hull, those upgrades get counted toward Brooks' score.
Sure.
So they need to do their job and help the ship perform.
Yeah.
So Admiral Piet is there to make all the tokens that I'm going to receive and turn into tokens act as if they're the full dial command when they need to. And then I also brought Wolf Yularen because I can conserve tokens that way. Like the essential token that I need every round, I can just keep recycling back into play.
Yep.
I brought the Emperor.
Of course. How could you not?
Yeah, well, I mean, not only is this the correct ride for the Emperor of the Galaxy,
yes,
but he also has a very kind of vicious, do you really want to shoot me ability? And I find that the Super Star Destroyer does have to be on its toes about defense and firing back and making sure that it's managing its health, or at least trading up well.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the engine that I tried to build.
Sure. And then what are your other ships that you got here?
Two raiders.
Okay.
Just 2 raiders.
Yep.
But I gave each of them ordnance experts and external racks, which is the extra dice on extra black dice, and it's a ship that's all about black dice anyway. So they're sort of in like a they get one really good strike.
Yeah.
So they can threaten somebody who wants to try and get around the flanks.
Yeah.
The other role for both of them is anti-fighter, because they are each pretty good at that, especially if they can cross the arc on a fighter. And I also gave the Instigator title, to one of them, because that is another way for me to pin down fighters, be a speed bump for a crucial round.
So it seems like your support ships are dedicating a lot of their energy to countering fighters, which you'd mentioned was kind of one of the main potential shortfalls of the Super Star Destroyer.
Yeah, they're there to be able to do both, right?
Yeah.
Because they can threaten fighters and they can also threaten capital ships.
Yeah.
So I find them to be really good, multi-role, cheap escorts for that reason.
And then you've got just a single lone TIE Fighter squadron.
Yeah.
Was that just kind of to fill up some last points, or what's the thought there?
No, so I might have brought more, but I wanted at least one squadron of fighters just to be a speed bump.
Sure.
For like I said, like that one crucial move, be able to get in and with luck do a little damage, but hold a squadron up for like one more round.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are you bringing, Brooks, on the other side?
So I have Garm Iblis as my commander aboard the Phoenix Home, a Pelta-class command ship.
Yeah.
So that is giving me a lot of tokens right off the bat that I can use for my own fleet command, shields to maximum. I know I'm going to start taking damage on a number of my ships at long range because of the number of attacks the Super Star Destroyer can put out. So I want to start bringing those shields back up right away so that I'm not already behind in the attrition race as the fight starts. I also have a Mon Cal assault cruiser, Home 1, with just a couple of defensive upgrades, again, to let me kind of take a little bit more of that firepower without it degrading my capabilities too much.
Yeah, why don't you throw some of this stuff in the dice tray so people can take a look at it, even though I'm sure they probably know a lot of the stuff you're talking about.
So this is the one real part of actual card combos I have in my fleet here. Garm Iblis is giving me command tokens on the 1st and the 5th round, and Phoenix Home is allowing me to save up more tokens on my Pelta, not as many as Executor would, but still. That way I can continue to support shields to maximum, I can use them to command fighters when I need to, or reroll my dice. And then also I have Home 1 on Mon Cal Marine Assault Cruiser to give my fleet some more accuracy icons when I'm attacking it, because it has a number of defense tokens that I'm going to have to get through to be able to deal damage reliably. Other than that, I have a Nebulon B, a Corellian Corvette, both with some minor turbo lasers, and then a smattering of Rebel squadrons. XYAB is the classic Rebel squadrons from the movies. I take one of each.
Right. Why not? And we did have a question, I think, from the chat, right?
We do, yeah. So first off, Super Star Destroyer, again, very glorious. Might not be able to fit in the normal deployment areas. So how does it work when it deploys?
You're allowed to extend out from the deployment zone. You need to be touching the back edge of your table edge.
Sure.
If you're extending it.
Yep.
Okay.
And any squadrons that deploy from you cannot be farther than distance 5 from the table edge, so you now don't get extra reach with those squadrons on deployment.
And does Admiral Mahdi work with the Super Star Destroyer? Is another question I've seen a few times now.
Admiral Mahdi gives bonus hull to small, medium, and large ships. The Super Star Destroyer is a huge ship. A huge ship is not a small, medium, or large ship. Admiral Mahdi has no effect on the Super Star Destroyer.
All right. Well, I think we are probably about ready to start playing here.
Okay.
So we are kind of in media res here. Do you guys want to, real quick, kind of explain like how we got here? This is the top of the second round, I believe. Is that correct?
Yep. So before we set up the stream, we went ahead and played through the first round because it was just setup and maneuvering. No shots have been exchanged yet.
Yep.
But that way we could get right into the action. We have a couple of ships now within long range of each other, so this turn will have some dice rolling in it. Michael is first player. He had 1 point less spent on his fleet than me. And so we are playing my opening salvo, which is going to give every ship 2 additional dice on their first attack. And my dice can be of any color. His dice have to be red. My plan is to throw those extra dice, and then I have shields to maximum ready to hopefully immediately recover whatever damage I take in return.
Sure. And I guess we should say right here, so we're not going to play a full game of Armada or a full game less the first round. We're going to play 2 or maybe 3 rounds, depending on how time goes, and then we're going to call it. But that should be enough time for you guys to see the Super Star Destroyer and the opposing fleet in action.
Yeah.
So let's get to it.
All right.
Let's throw some
I've already
dice.
set my command dials. You have as well. All right. Good luck. Start of the ship phase. Do you want to trigger any fleet commands?
I do. I'm going to spend an engineering token to use shields to maximum. And I think that I'm going to use Wolf Yularen to take that back.
All right. I am also going to spend an engineering token to resolve shields to maximum.
Cool.
So,
Okay.
that is where we are.
Everyone's
So-
shielding up.
Yeah, it looks like we had the same idea. So I think that puts the play to me.
Yep.
So I am going to activate the instigator. We just got done talking about fighters, and I actually want to get the most out of my fighters while I can.
Okay.
So what I think I'm going to do is try to hop over here outside of the X-Wing's engagement range.
When you activate a dial, do you want to throw that into the dice
Yeah,
tray there?
yeah, you bet. So
people
I
won't
activate.
be able to see
I
it.
revealed Squadrons.
Yep.
I'm just going to be activating one squadron, and that puts me outside of the X-Wing's range and just in range of the bombers, which they're the biggest threat to me right now.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Brooks.
Yep.
And I've got my 3 blue dice, so I'm going to go ahead and roll those.
All right.
Ooh,
Okay. I'll take 1 damage.
Not the greatest, but them's the breaks, right? So, all right. So, I am at speed 2. Actually, I should have moved that down to speed 2. Excuse me.
Yep.
For the,
Yeah, you're at speed 2.
yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move, and I think. Yeah, I'm just going to make a turn
Yeah.
like that. And this is going to cost me, but I think I'm okay with that.
It does put you in a good position to block me trying to get past the Super Star Destroyer's front.
So I'm going to take a face-up damage for that. This is not the worst. I got blinded gunners. So
Okay.
I just can't spend accuracy icons.
Not too bad.
That's on the instigator. Okay. All right. Well.
So what's your strategy here, Michael, going into the first round?
I like to set up the Super Star Destroyer in a corner
Yeah.
because then this is not a great place for my opponent to be,
Right.
and then I can kind of have this whole sweep, and I can turn into them or just go straight.
Sure.
Really, I just want to keep my guns on target and try to keep them out of my very vulnerable spots.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to activate my Nebulon B Salvation
Sure.
with a navigate command. I already have a token, so I'll just use it on the dial. I could recover a shield here, but I haven't taken any damage yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and move. And I believe I am going to speed up to 3. I think I'm just going to do speed 2. So I am going to remain at speed 2, but use an additional click of Ya to set myself up right there.
All right.
It looks like, yeah, you're out of the forward firing arc
Yep.
on the Super Star
I have
Destroyer.
avoided your front arc.
Yep.
I'm in range of your side.
So that's a good place for him to be.
Mm-hmm.
So that puts it back to me,
Yep.
and I am going to use my pass token.
Okay.
So I'm just going to put that up here, so I remember that.
Just right on top there.
Yeah, you receive the pass. That way I can't miss it. You receive the pass token, and
Yeah.
then it's a lot like the current card, Strategic Officer. Play goes back to Brooks.
All right. Well, I'd really like to save my main ships here for last, so I think this Corvette is out of range, but I'll go ahead and activate it. Again, with the navigate command, I have a token. I will use the dial. Try to maneuver myself into a good position here.
So we've
You're
got
going at speed 3?
Yes.
We've got a few squadrons on the table here. What are the rules when the Super Star Destroyer overlaps some squadrons? How do they move? Where would they go?
It's the same as a standard ship.
Okay.
The opposing player is going to place those squadrons in contact with the Super Star Destroyer, which in this case is the ship that overlapped them.
Yep.
Sure.
And there's a whole lot of Super Star Destroyer to place your squadrons in contact with. So
Yes.
There certainly is.
So I think that's me. So
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to activate my Raider.
Okay.
I'm revealing a nav. So I got a shot.
do you have range?
I do have range. Well, actually, no, I can't because I have to form the dice pool first. So, in order to add those dice to it. So I don't have a shot. I'm going to go ahead and just move. I think what I want to do is turn into you. So I'm going to use my dial. And do this. Yep. I could just do that.
So if you guys,
Stay in the front arc of the Mon Calamari cruiser.
Right.
And
Yep.
be waiting for that Corvette.
that makes sense.
Sure. Okay. Well, I will.
You were saying.
Yes. Well, things are happening. So I
I'll think for a bit here.
we'll wait until top of the round or something to ask this very important question.
Cool.
Do you have a question from the chat?
I do.
Yeah,
They're
let's hear
curious
that.
about the effects of obstacles on the Super Star Destroyer. Is it all standard effects of obstacles?
All standard.
Okay.
Yep.
So I don't want to hit obstacles.
Are you
help
picking
me.
up a trend here? However it works on the normal ship, that's how it works on the Super Star Destroyer. With
Can't just
very,
roll
very,
through
very few
asteroids.
exceptions.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to activate my Mon Calamari assault cruiser. I have a squadron command, so I'm going to go ahead and activate my squadrons. First, I'm going to have my A-wing
Uh-oh, it's coming in.
go up to
Yeah.
Oh, no.
try and get rid of this TIE fighter here.
Oh, going after the TIE
So-
fighters.
Okay, all right. You're,
B-wing.
you're
That's
safe.
inevitable.
You're safe for now. Safe for a moment longer.
So I got 3 blue dice for 2 hits.
They survive.
Leave him in there.
I'll leave them in there.
Go.
Then I will activate my B-wing to hopefully finish off those ties. And I get 1 hit, so there we go. So then, now that I am free of
That was their job.
its influence, I can move. So I'm going to move to and hop up to the front of the Super Star Destroyer so that I can start attacking it in future rounds. My X-Wing, unfortunately, is stuck here by Instigator, so is going to attack the front of Instigator. Nothing.
Okay.
Oh, well.
And then my Y-Wing is going to come rushing up to get into the fight and attack the front of this Raider here. Bounced out. It's a blank.
Okay.
Okay, so I got rid of the TIE fighter. I was looking to do some damage to your ships, but I was not able to. Oh, I gotta spend the token to do all 4. That's why I saved up that token. And then I'm going to attack. So whatever my first attack is going to get 2 extra dice. So I'm going to make that my side against your front at long range.
Yep.
So I have 4 red dice normally. And this is my opening salvo. Ooh, I like that. So I'm going to add in 2 blue dice. Okay.
Nice.
And then I'm not gonna use leading shots to re-roll anything because it's not gonna get better than it already is. 2, 4,
Okay.
5, 6, 7 damage coming at you.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
I'm going to brace because I got plenty of those. And that's going to turn to 4. And then I'm going to send some of that damage back. I think I'm actually going to send it to this side. So I'm going to take 3 off of this side. and I'm going to take 1 off of my prow.
Okay. So then I'm going to fire my front at medium range at this. Actually, no, I'm going to fire that long range at the Super Star Destroyer.
Okay.
For 2.
2 damage.
Nothing else modifying that.
Okay. I think I'm just going to redirect that.
Okay.
So I'm just going to take 1 on this side and 1 on my front.
Okay.
Looks good.
And then I am moving at speed 2. I got a nav token, so I could speed up or slow down.
Why don't I do that?
So if you guys were working on a Super Star Destroyer, what
Yes.
job would you have?
If they didn't make me second assistant deck swabber,
Right.
I would be daydreaming of being on the bridge crew because that just looks so glamorous.
Right. You know, you have
Just
the famous
standing on the elevated walkway.
Yep.
I would probably be in astrication, doing like star maps and hyperspace plotting. Either that or the air traffic controller who makes sure all the fighters that launch from it don't hit each other.
Right.
I need a 5-kilometer clearance zone around this giant ship. All right, that's my assault frigate, assault cruiser.
So it's time for the
Oh, it's happening.
Here we
time
go.
for the Super Stardestroyer.
It's happening.
Okay, so this time I've got a nav, and I am going to.
Real quick, question from the chat. Does Minister Tua give the Super Star Destroyer even more upgrade slots?
Minister Tua does not. You cannot equip upgrade slots to a Super Star Destroyer or any other huge ship that do not give additional upgrade slots.
I mean, it's got a lot to begin with.
It has a lot. We had to do that for balance reasons.
Yeah.
Because we're sort of running into a situation where if we made the ship good enough without Minister Tua and electronic countermeasures being the obvious addition, it was too good with those. And if we made it balanced with those, it was too weak without. We didn't want to have that be a required take for the game.
So I revealed the navigation command.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to take both tokens from that. Ordinarily, I would have used Wolf Yalaran to maybe keep one of those tokens. I know I'm going to need both of them at some point. So I'm just going to keep those and be flexible in case I don't want to turn right now. And then we're going to proceed into attacks.
Yes.
So the other thing I do, when I reveal my command dial in this case, I'm actually going to get 1 shield back because I have shields to maximum up. So I'm going to go ahead and put back a shield on my left side. And then it's time for attacks. So,
All right. The moment I've personally been waiting for.
yeah, exactly. So, me too. So I'm just going to measure range, and I think we are. Let me get a little closer there. I think we're at medium range.
I'll do it coming through this way.
Yeah, I'm just going to move this this ship here.
Oh yeah, medium range.
Great, awesome. So I'm going to make a medium range shot on the side of the MC-80.
On Obstructed?
Yep, I don't have any special attack effects except you're at speed 2.
I'm at speed 2.
Yep, so since I'm at speed 1, I brought quad battery turrets, so I just get 1 extra blue die.
Nice.
Because you're pretty much always going to have people going faster than you when you're a Super Star Destroyer. So I'm going to get my full whack of dice, and which is really satisfying. And
Oh, that's so many.
There we go.
then I'm gonna. I don't have any other tricks to play at the moment, so I'm gonna go ahead and. Oh, the other thing I get to do, of course, is this is my opening salvo.
Yep.
So you get 2 red.
This is kind of a high risk, high reward card
Yeah.
for this game. We'll get into that in a sec. Okay.
Man.
This attack was obstructed because of my early warning systems.
Right.
So you have to pull a die out. Since all of your dice are single facings, just pull whatever out.
I'm just gonna take one of these hits out. Thanks for reminding me of that. And then I think because I think I just want to do. I'm going to go ahead and spend one of these because I have an extra accuracy, and then I'm going to re-roll some of these dice. Go fishing for a little more damage. Okay, excellent.
Paid off.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage, and no redirect, no brace for you.
Okay. That is pretty rough. I am glad I have this contain here to stop the critical hit, but I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's all 4 shields on that side.
Yikes.
And 3 damage cards to the hull.
So it's kind of high. When I was talking about the objective, any ship that has a damage card on it at the end is going to be worth half its points, even if it's not destroyed.
Sure.
And that cuts 2 ways because
Right.
that ship's worth a lot of points.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm just kind of looking for hull damage. Okay, so I've got 2 more attacks to make, and I'm going to go ahead and attack. So I don't have a frontal attack on him, but I do have a long-range shot at the Nebulon B. I'm going to go. Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and take that shot. I believe we are not obstructed. So, but since this is a long-range shot, I'm just getting my 3 red. And that Nebulon B, I believe, is at speed 2. Is that
Yep.
right? All right.
Speed 2.
So I get my extra blue die. Okay.
Poof.
So I'm going to use that on your evade.
Yep. So 5 damage. I'll brace it to 3. That's all of my front shields.
One of my favorite little details about Armada is the shield dials and how the color is like really bright and vibrant on the 6, and then it gets less.
And that's all the attacks I can really make because
Yep.
nobody else is in arc, and I can't shoot from the same arc again.
Yeah.
So we're at the fighter phase.
No, you gotta move that ship.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Thanks.
And I got the 4th ship to go here.
So in this case, I am going to use Admiral Piet, and I'm going to make. I need a turn.
Yep.
So I'm going to make this have the effect of the dial, and then I'm going to attempt to turn.
From that base.
Right.
Otherwise,
Reminder.
otherwise the back of the ship would fishtail like
Yeah.
long range.
Okay. So I'm definitely gonna collide.
Oh my
Yeah.
That's gonna put me back in the
Yep.
same place.
It's gonna run over that radar.
But I'm okay with that because I'm still pointed that way, and I'm hoping I can heal that damage. Unfortunately, the raider also takes damage.
Yep. All right. Well, my Pelta will go here. I have a navigate command. I didn't take any damage. The shields to maximum doesn't trigger. Right now, I'm going to use Ahsoka Tano. During the activation of a friendly ship at distance 1 to 5, you may exhaust this card. Discard 1 command token. Oh, I gotta do it on that ship. Dang it. I forgot how that worked. All right. Do you mind if I use this during... I suppose I'm going to use it on my own activation here, actually. Because I'll swap that
That's cool.
for another engineering token. Power shields to maximum again. Okay. So I will shoot from my front arc at long range. 2 red. And then this is my opening salvo. So I'll add in 2 black. And then I'm going to use home 1 to change 1 die to an accuracy result. So I'm going to use that accuracy on your green brace token. So go ahead and spend your defense tokens.
I'm just gonna let that absorb.
3 more on your front. Okay, and then I'm moving at speed 2.
So if you equip the Super Star Destroyer with enhanced armament, does that affect both the front and rear side arcs?
No, the rear side arcs are what's called auxiliary arcs. They are not normal side arcs, so they're not affected.
All right.
Okay, now fighters. And they've all activated.
Yep. So we're just in the end phase.
So, end of the round here, what are you each kind of thinking? What are you feeling? How did that round pan out for you? What's
His
the recap?
attack on my assault cruiser was pretty devastating, having the accuracy to lock down everything except my contain. I was planning on using advanced projectors to take his damage and redirect it to my other shield zones.
Right.
That would have allowed me to soak a lot of damage away, but he got a lot of natural accuracy results, and so I am in a world of hurt.
I didn't necessarily take my own advice about maneuvering carefully, but I think I'm in okay position because I want to make sure I can get those damage cards off. So that's not ideal, but I'm at least pointing in the direction I want to be right now for this next round.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna. Well, so we'll set command dials first.
How many points are we playing with here?
This is a standard 400 point
400?
game. I have 400. Michael has 399.
So we're in the command phase.
That sneaky little initiative build.
I almost always build as close to 400 as I can get because I just want to have more stuff on the table.
Yeah, who doesn't want to have stuff? Are you guys still as passionate about this game as you were when you first started on it?
Well, the focus has definitely changed. I actually played competitively for most of a year before I was hired in the warehouse. And so now that I'm not doing that as much anymore, the focus is much more changed to trying to support the community and trying to come up with interesting things to add to the game, and less about actually playing and winning all my games and stuff.
Right. Win at all costs.
I have some promo stuff down here.
Oh,
I
yeah.
won because feels good.
I love working on this game
Yeah.
a lot. It's really rewarding to be able to work with something that I grew up loving.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
I don't get to play it all the time, but it's still one of my favorite games to play. So when I have a big collection, and when I get the chance, I like to do that. I definitely enjoy the campaigns. That's something I play a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so top the next round.
Yep. First player.
Real quick, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt from the sweet Superstar story action going on the table, but question in the chat, do huge ships have regular rules on the limit of 1 modification, or can they take 2?
Just one.
So, same thing?
Same thing as everything else.
There we go, yep.
Like I said before, as much as possible, we only added additional rules that we felt we needed to add for balance reasons. Everything else just remained the same so that you could, even if you didn't have a Super Star Destroyer yourself, when your opponent put it down across from you at game night at your local game store, you would understand what it could do.
Okay, so if there's one thing I hate happening to me, it is a ship being destroyed with unexpended.
So first,
elements.
start of the ship phase.
All right, yeah.
Do you want to trigger anything?
I do actually. Thank you for the reminder. I'm going to go ahead and trigger my shields again.
Executor doing work.
So, and I'm just going to burn that token.
Yep.
So
I'm going to do the same with my Pelta. Okay.
Cool. Okay, so as I was saying.
Yeah. What's the thing you hate?
Instigator is not doing really well. I hate losing a ship when I don't get to trigger its big, effect.
I mean, it has Super Star Destroyer run into it. So.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's not looking good at the moment. So I think what I'm going to do is attack home 1 with it.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and reveal a nav command. And I am going to attack from my front into his side. So
That is obstructed because of my
right, it's an
shaft
early
there.
warning system. Okay, so I'm just going to take 1 blue. I can't use accuracy anyway because of my damage. And I'm going to have those 2 black dice. This is going to be my opening attack. So I get to add 2 red. And I also am going to I'm going to hold off on this until I know I want to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and make my roll. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my external racks to add 2 black dice.
Yeah.
And then I want to re-roll those blanks. And they come up blanks again. Okay, so I don't really have any other tricks to pull. I think it's my turn to whiff. So I'm just doing 2 damage.
Okay.
I can't spend accuracy.
Okay, all right, because of blinded gunners, I was worried there.
Exactly.
Well, then I am definitely going to redirect that 2 damage with advanced projectors. I'll throw it all the way over here on the far side. Okay.
And I think I have a shot on those X-Wings.
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and make an attack while I can.
And you've got,
Oh.
you might have the B-Wings as well.
Ah,
I believe you do. Yeah, yep, you do.
you are right. I almost didn't notice them there under the shadow of my Super Star
You
Destroyer.
do not have the A-Wings range.
So,
They were hiding.
okay, I'm going to go ahead and attack both then. So I've got a armament of 2 black dice. I don't think either of them are obstructed, so I'm going to go ahead and attack the X-Wing
Oof,
for 2 damage. Then I'm going to go ahead and attack the B-Wing. The B-Wing also takes 2 damage.
Okay, B-Wings down to 2.
And this is why I like Raiders, when they get to attack fighters. Okay, and now I have to move.
Yep, now you have to move.
I'm going speed 3. And I don't have an I do have an afterman, so what I'm going to do here is just to try to get...
You want me to
Yeah, actually,
pop
that'd be
that
cool.
off there?
And I can't do that, so I'm just going to go use my extra to get back here. Can't clear him that way. So I think I'm going to be looking at a collision.
Oh no.
Oh, I might be able to do this. I think I'm going to do that.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, just snaking
Okay,
right by.
so no collision, but he has the chance to shoot me.
I have a lot of chance to shoot you. All right. Well, I will activate my assault cruiser because it's in a pretty bad place right now. Has a concentrate fire command with shields to maximum. It's going to recover 1 shield on the side facing the Super Star Destroyer, and then it's going to use this engineering token to resolve an engineering command. And after what happened last time, I am actually going to move my 2 shields on my right side to my left side. Try and get as many shields between me and you as possible.
I think
All
that's a good policy.
So then I'm going to attack your other raider there that hasn't activated yet.
Yep.
I'm going to do it with my side arc first, which does have you right there. So I've got 4 reds, 2 blues, and I have a concentrate fire, and let's see if I want to use it. Okay, so I have 6 damage.
Okay.
And the floating... Alright, I'm going to roll in the blue die with my concentrate fire.
Yep.
Alright, there is 7 damage coming at you.
So I think the only thing I can really do is to brace,
Yep.
and that will save me. But
You'll take 4
Yep.
with a critical hit.
exactly. So let's turn that first card face up. It's disengage fire control. So I'm just going to show that to everybody. And then the other card is face down. I survive.
Hopefully that effect won't actually matter too much, because now I'm going to put my front into you as well, because I want to get you out of my way before you trigger your big attack there. So here's my front arc at your front as well, and that's going to be 4 damage.
Okay, so
Four
we're looking at
damage.
4 damage.
4 damage.
There's nothing I can do
you
about
can't
that.
stop it.
So thanks.
Got to get that out before it opening salvo external racks 8 more dice into me.
Thanks for clearing me out of the way.
All right. So now I can actually move. Otherwise, I was just going to run into you. I'm moving at 2, and I'm a little worried about setting myself up for double arc here. So, oh boy, I don't want to hit the rock. Hope this works. Do-do-do. All right, I don't hit the rock. I think you will have double arc on me though. When you do that, yeah, you will. Well, it's obstructed. Hopefully I got enough shields in the way that I can take that hit. Okay, your turn.
So I have the option to pass. I think I'm going to do that and see what happens with these other ships over here.
All right. Well, then I'm going to activate my Nebulon B with a concentrate fire command. Shields to maximum. It's going to give me a shield back in the front. I'm going to use this engineering token to move 2 shields from my rear to my front, bringing my front all the way back up to 3. So this is the whole plan I had set up from the start of the game with Garm Iblis, shields to maximum, take damage, and immediately repair it again. All right, going to attack. I could shoot your front obstructed or your side clear. I will shoot your side with 3 red dice to start. And then, this is my opening salvo, so I'm going to add in 2 blue dice. And then I'm going to concentrate fire in another blue die. And then finally, dual turbo laser turrets. I'm going to exhaust this card to add a red die, and then I'll have to remove a die. So I'll remove that. So I have 5 damage and an accuracy. All of your tokens are fresh. So I will accuracy one of your braces. And I actually have 6 damage there because my critical facing counts twice with salvation.
Okay. Well, I'm going to brace it. And I think I'm going to redirect that as well.
Okay, so 3 damage.
Yep. And that is my side, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So I think I'm going to send that damage, 2 of that damage to the rear, and I'll keep 1.
The auxiliary arc, you
Yeah,
mean.
excuse me, the rear, the right auxiliary.
To the folks back there who can't actually see where he's putting that sheet
Yes.
damage.
Yes.
Right here.
So, yeah, and so you had a question for us, Brian?
Yeah, so we actually have, going all the way back to the beginning of the chat. I'm sorry, everybody in the chat, I haven't been able to get to this question. Just some curiosity about if the Super Star Destroyer comes with any like special missions or anything like that.
It does not. It only comes with content that you are going to use with the ship, a number of existing upgrade cards, as well as a couple of the new ones that we've shown here. And the sector fleet rules were developed alongside it, but we put those up online for everyone to use because you don't need a Super Star Destroyer to play the sector fleet rules. We wouldn't want you to have to buy it to play some other game mode that you're not going to use a Super Star Destroyer in.
Right. That makes sense.
All right.
One thing that, one of the perils of having a ship with so many upgrade cards is that I forgot to have you spend your card.
I'm going to have
token.
I'm going to flip one of my braces because I have 2 of them and I'm still at long range of you. And then I'm going to see if I can, I can't shoot anything else, so it'll just be the 1, and then I'm going to move at speed 2. Since I'm in a really nice position here, I'm going to use my navigate token to slow down to speed 1.
Makes
And
sense.
I'm just going to slide up.
So we've talked about a lot about
Slide
how
up to here.
the Super Star Destroyer follows a lot of the standard rules for like
Yeah.
obstacles and things like that. What are some of like the big ways it deviates from some of the standard rules?
Being able to pass.
Yeah.
It's got the extra hull zones. There's the movement change, and there's the half points. If I have half my damage cards gone at the end of the game, Brooks is going to get not only half the ship's base points, but the value of all the upgrade cards.
Sure. Which is a lot.
Yes. Fortunately, it is my turn to activate.
Yeah.
So, I am revealing Concentrate Fire, and I think what I want to do this time is I'm going to take both of those tokens again. I would want those for later rounds to fuel my fleet command. So I'm just going to sit on those for now by spinning the dial to take that extra token.
Yep.
And also the innate token that I generate.
Yep.
So your shields to maximum is going to trigger and
Yes.
give you back 1 shield.
Yes, exactly. So I do that. I think I want that shield on my front. No, yeah. So I'm going to put that up to 2. And then I think it's time for shooting.
Yep.
So,
Shooting time.
and I'm going to go after that cruiser. I just have him in my front arc. We are not obstructed.
Oh, we are obstructed actually because of my early warning
because of
system.
early warning system. Yeah, that's right. So I know we're at medium range.
Yep. And I'm still at speed 2.
Yep. So I get that extra die. It's no longer the first shot of the game. You know, I'm going to go ahead and go for it. Yeah. And I am going to spend... I'm just going to stand on that, I think.
Okay.
So we're looking at...
4, 7
Yep.
with a crit, 2 accuracies.
Okay. So I definitely don't want you to brace.
Okay.
And I don't want you to spend your green redirect.
Okay. Well, I will happily throw my red redirect under the bus to spread some of that damage around. So 7 damage is going to do 3 off the rear. I'm going to take all 3 off of this side, and then I'll take 1 off of the front as well.
And how do you...
Oh, you said it was obstructed. You didn't actually take a die out of the pool.
I apologize. Just take
So
one
yeah,
less
we'll just
damage.
take the damage down by 1. So I'll have 1 shield left there.
Okay, great. So I'm going to go ahead and make a follow-up attack.
Yep.
And I think this time... I think I'm going to continue shooting at your side.
Yep, and it'll still be medium range. Well, it might be close, actually.
This is medium range.
Okay.
So I'm going to get my 3 red
Okay.
and 1 blue.
And it's obstructed.
Yep, so I'm only going to get 1 blue.
Yep, because of your quad turbos, quad battery turrets. So many quad weapons in this game.
Okay. I'm going to stand on that as well.
Okay.
So
What would you like the accuracy?
don't redirect.
Okay. Then I will happily brace it down to 2, as well as contain the crits that will result. I'll take 1 shield and 1 more face down damage card.
That puts you at 4 damage, right?
Yep, 4 of 8.
I have 1 more attack I can make.
Yeah. 3 attacks is a lot.
I think I'm going to shoot out of my right side at his cruiser, or his Nebula V frigate.
Yep. You do have medium.
Okay. Is it medium if I shoot to your side?
I would think so. Because it's on the corner there.
Yeah. Just
barely.
Okay. So same dice pool. We're not
And-
obstructed in this case.
Nope, but I am going speed 1, so your quad battery turrets are not going
Don't
to help
trigger.
here.
Okay. I'm going to spend this to re-roll these.
Okay.
Okay. Didn't come off as well, but I'm doing 2 damage.
Cool. I am not going to take the risk of having you re-roll into a double. I'm just going to brace, reduce it to 1, and lose that last shield there.
And then it is time for me to move.
Will we actually see this thing move?
Yeah, this time.
Oh, it'll move.
Yeah.
This time there's no ship in my way. I'm going to use my navigate token and Admiral Piet. And I'm also going to use Wolf Yularen to keep that token. And I am going to turn this way.
Back base.
Yep. Thanks.
There we go.
Looks like you're holding a sword.
No collision. So that's my move.
Okay. So then I will activate my Pelta, since you are all activated. I have an engineering command. I will take that as a token, because I haven't been shot at all yet. And then I will attack. So, this has 2 damage cards on it already. I am actually going to attack your rear hull zone with my side hull zone. On the Raider there. So that is a red and a blue. For crit and accuracy. Actually doesn't really do me any good with 1 damage. So I'm going to spend... I'll just leave it, actually. Just 1 damage.
Okay.
On the rear of your Raider there.
I'm just going to take that off the shields.
And then my front arc, it's going to do 2 reds, 2 blues into your side at medium range. Now I'm going to use that concentrate fire token to re-roll 1 of these dice. Still to a blank, but I'm going to have home 1 trigger to give me an accuracy on that die. So 2 hits, an accuracy. I will accuracy your redirect. You have 1 shield on the starboard side.
So I'm just taking 2 damage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and...
If accuracy, your green
I'll just
redirect.
take
Yeah.
that. I'll
Okay.
just take it.
Just take it.
I don't want to burn all my tokens just yet.
Mm-hmm. Then I'm moving.
That makes sense.
I'm going to use a Sokatano to exhaust, replace my engineering token with a navigate token. Spend that navigate token to do a speed 1 move and turn in to there.
Some fancy
So I'm
fly.
down to 1, and now you're not getting your extra dice from quad battery anymore. Okay. That's that activation. My Corvette has a concentrate fire. So this shot is long range obstructed, even if I shoot at the rear. This shot is obstructed.
I'm going to be throwing some dice in
I
a
don't
second
think so.
here.
It is not obstructed. As much as I'd like to finish off that Raider, 1 die, long range.
While you're thinking, question from the chat here. Home 1 in 2 different of the 2 separate firing arcs of the Super Stardestroyer. Can it be shot twice?
Yes, yes it can.
Okay.
Yeah, the Super Stardestroyer doesn't have any innate rules that are like gunnery team or anything that would prevent that from happening.
Okay.
I actually am going to shoot the Raider because this is my Corvette's opening salvo, and I might be able to get enough damage out of that to destroy it. So I have 1 red die for a long range obstructed attack. Nothing. Well, that's a auspicious start. I'm going to opening salvo in 2 blues.
Yep.
Okay. I will concentrate fire in an additional blue. And then I will use dual turbo laser turrets to exhaust, add a red, And I have to remove a die. Ay, ay, ay. Well, I can use home 1 to turn that into an accuracy regardless. So I will use both my accuracies on both of your evades at long range, and you have 2 damage with a crit on Instigator.
Okay. I think that's worth bracing. So I'm going to take 1 damage, and I don't think it's going to get in to take Hull away. So.
Nope. No, it's not. Okay, and then I'm probably not going to have any of those shots.
That was just sheer luck.
Yeah, if I got another hit in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't make any other shots because they'd be obstructed and I'd have no dice. So I'm moving at 4 with a navigate token. And you've already fired external racks.
You have any
So I'm going
questions
to pull
on the
this
chat?
Y-wing out of the way.
No, it's pretty good right now.
You got speed
Oh,
4,
right,
correct?
Yeah, almost.
So don't you need
I'm going to use that to drop to 3.
Right, okay.
Because that is right there the move I want to do.
Okay.
So down to 3.
I'm just gonna park right in front here.
Right
a good
underneath.
move.
They can't see us down here.
Okay. Squadron phase. So Y-wing's sitting right there. Okay, so my X-wing is going to attack the rear of your Raider
Okay.
with 1 red die and a bomber. Yeah, 1 damage. My A-wing is not close enough to do the same. My B-wing will attack the exposed starboard side of the Star Destroyer. The blue and the black for 2.
This time I am going to redirect,
Okay.
and I think I will brace.
Okay, so 1 damage.
And I'll send that 1 damage back here to my auxiliary.
Okay.
arc.
And then my Y-wing is gonna.
Also, you attack a ship that has
You have
5
counter.
laser turrets.
Okay.
So
All right.
1
My
damage in return.
B-wing takes 1 damage. Okay. My Y-wing is gonna do a speed 3 move, tucked up underneath the front here. And my A-wing is going to do the same. So all my squadrons in position. And all the shields on his starboard side, both his normal side and his auxiliary, are cleared out. And a big chunk of them off the front as well. Okay, that's the end of round 3.
All right.
I like how you have a lot of ships hanging out underneath the nose of
Yeah.
the Super Star Destroyer. That's
Just parking under there.
yeah.
It's definitely going to happen.
So, where are you guys feeling at this point in the game? Michael, you don't have so many ships hanging out.
That's you noticed that. So I do have initiative still.
Yep.
That is a big advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So I get choice of targets. It does mean I'm probably not. I mean, I can still do some things like defer if I want to, but I probably am going to want to shoot.
Yeah.
And my right side is exposed, and that's not a really good feeling
Yeah.
because I have to really watch my hull points because not only am I up against the objective, but I also really need to prevent myself from hitting half hull.
Right. Exactly. And what are you looking at, Brooks?
Well, my assault cruiser is pretty badly beat up because it's been taking the brunt of all of Michael's attacks. But the rest of my fleet is actually in really good shape. So depending on how this turn goes, we could see a whole lot of different things happen. Because now that every ship of mine over here is past the front arc of his Star Destroyer, and he's not going to be able to get it back around because I'm inside the arc of any turn he would make. So he's really just going to get 1 more round of attacks with the front arc. And then my attacks in return will be hitting exposed hull all along his starboard side. So we'll see how the dice turn out, really.
Yeah. Well, I think that this will probably be the last round that we play on the stream here. But it sounds like it'll be a pretty pivotal one.
I think that is definitely the case.
setting some dials here. Are there any choices from earlier in the game that you feel like you would have done differently at this point for either of you? Or have you been like, things have pretty much played out as you would have expected and maybe just, the dice went one way or the other and you wouldn't really have changed much?
This is. I think I might have moved the other ship and or my other Corvette.
Yeah.
I was hoping that it would survive, but
Yeah.
since it was double arced,
Yeah.
I also thought he might, instead want to attack the Super Star Destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
But focusing on that ship was probably the wise thing to do.
Yeah.
So I probably would have made the same choice, but I sure wish it hadn't turned out that way.
Yeah.
I maybe would have maneuvered a little bit more carefully with my Corvette, but
Mhm.
I think actually stopping the SSD here has ended up being beneficial.
Yeah, that wasn't bad at all.
Yeah. I would have liked to draw in a little more of Michael's fire onto my Pelta and spread it out a little more and not let him focus so heavily on the assault cruiser.
Yeah.
So if I had assault activated the Pelta first in the first round we played, round 2, instead of the assault cruiser, it would have been the more obvious target, would have taken some fire, but the Raiders wouldn't have been able to concentrate it as well. What really got the assault cruiser and has put it in such dire straits here is that it was having to fight both the Super Star Destroyer and the rest of his fleet.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right.
Well, let's see it.
So at the start of the ship phase, I would trigger both my Intensify Firepower command and my Shields to Maximum commands. I would spend both of those, and I would use Wolf Yalarin to conserve that repair command.
Okay, and I am just going to discard Shields to Maximum to trigger it because I am out of tokens.
Yep.
I would get more tokens with Garm Iblis at the start of the next round. Okay, I'm going to leave my early warning right where it is.
So I don't think I'm going to get anything out of deferring right now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and activate the Super Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
And I think...
Because you still have front arc on home one, is that correct?
Yes.
It looks like it.
I do.
Yeah.
So interestingly,
For sure.
since we're in a damage game and we're in an activation game, I kind of have an interesting choice. Like, I could try to annihilate the Corvette, or I could try to do really telling damage to home one and take it out of the game.
Right.
Because I'm going to take more damage on my right side. So what I really want here is like the most points possible.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm going to start out with is attacking home one with my front left arc. Looks like home one is still traveling with speed 2.
Yep.
So I'm going to get my bonus die, and then I'm going to get 3 red and a blue, except I have to lose one of those because of early warning system. So
You'll
I'll do
also
that.
get black now that I am in close range.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Nice.
That is, it's rare enough with Super Star Destroyer that I forget about it sometimes, but it's nice to have that extra die.
Yep.
I also have my Intensify Firepower up,
Yeah.
so I get a little bit of extra.
So you're going to get a shield back first before you
Yeah.
do that roll. Where do you want that? I'll get it over
I
here.
want that shield on this side. I think I'm going to put it on my front.
Makes sense.
All right. Okay. I am definitely going to spend this blue, I think.
Also, what is your command dial coming up there?
Oh, the command is nav.
Okay.
So, and I would like to take the nav tokens out of that.
Seems like a pattern.
Yeah, because this way I've got enough for the rest of the game.
Right.
I can always
Right.
turn when I have to turn.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like the plan for keeping this stuff together.
Yeah.
For those of you who can't see, the Executor there has 3 Navigate tokens, a Concentrate Fire token, and an Engineering token. He can use Piet to turn any one of those into a dial whenever he wants.
Today I think I'm going to spend this blue to re-roll these dud reds. And then I'm going to use Intensify Firepower to turn that into a single hit.
Okay.
And I don't want you to redirect.
Okay. Then I will brace that damage down to 2 and contain the crit. So I will take 2 damage cards. Put me at 6 of 8.
All right.
So I'm glad I lived through that.
I think with how beat up he is, I think I'm going to go after the Corvette.
Okay.
The Super Star Destroyer is the same height as all the other large ships, right? I mean, it's easy for me to see,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, it's on
same
height off
all
the
the-
table.
It's on the same large stand as the MC-80, so I can put my hand right here.
There
They're
we
pretty
go,
much
yeah.
even height.
Yep.
I have my Pelta on the higher stand than normal.
My thinking here is, I don't think he's going to be able to repair all that damage by the end of the game. So if I'm playing the long game, I'm going to try to take out one more ship. And that's just in my forward arc.
Okay.
blow
I
that
think
poor
you're going at
Corvette.
speed 3.
Going
so
speed
I get
3.
the blue. I don't get any accuracy. Oh, sorry. That was my bad. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my concentrate fire, my intensify firepower to do that. I'm going to spend. I don't think I really need to worry about that, actually. I think I'm just overwhelming you with enough damage, right? So I'm doing
I got
9
4 hull,
damage.
2 shields on the side,
Yeah.
2 shields on the front I can redirect to.
Okay. So I'm going to spend one of these and just fish for some accuracy here. Okay.
Okay, you had enough to kill me straight through, even with the redirect. I would have only had 8 damage would kill me, and you had 9, so you still kill me.
Yeah, but I had fun
Extra
rolling
redirect.
dice.
Sure, alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so I take 5 damage cards.
Blowing that guy up.
Pow, pow, pow. Alright. Well, my Corvette is well and truly gone, and that was my one big chance to take out your Raider there. But you left the assault cruiser alive,
Yep.
so we'll see how that pans out.
I have a 3rd attack.
Get that port broadside.
So I'm going to go ahead and attack. I'm actually going to use an anti-squadron attack on that bomber.
Okay.
Just try to clear it away. Because there's no way I'm going to attack, kill either of those ships.
Right, of course.
Okay.
Yep, that B-wing's gone.
Nice, nice.
And you're moving.
Yep. So I think I'm actually going to want to... I know I'm going to do this, and I know I'm going to use Admiral Piet, and I think I want to turn away. So...
It never
That's
fails.
overlapping those
Yep,
two.
yep.
It never fails to be funny to see that thing maneuvering.
Almost hit your Raider again.
But I did.
Alright, I can happily put my X-Wing and A-Wing where I want them. So I'm going to tuck them back on his right side, just in front of the auxiliary arc, with the A-Wings aiming straight towards the bridge.
Of course.
You can't see it behind
Yeah,
the cameras
but
here,
it's true.
they're essentially right here, skimming
Yep.
across the top.
Yep.
All right. Well, then I'm up. This guy's so tempting, but I want to bring that thing down. I'm going to activate my assault cruiser. I have a navigate command, and I'm going to open fire. So, first, my front arc into your left rear with 2 reds and a blue at medium range. For 2 hits, nothing else modifying that. Shields to maximum gives me a shield back there.
And you must spend one of your...
Yep, and I will spend the defense token, so I'm going to toss that contain. That has served me well, but is not going to be of much further use.
Okay. And I'm just looking at 2 damage.
That is the effect of Emperor Piet, or Emperor Palpatine, Emperor Piet. Emperor Palpatine, making me spend my defense tokens whenever I attack him.
Yeah.
Okay. This is my...
It hasn't had much effect on the game so far.
And this is my auxiliary arc. Correct.
Yes, this is your auxiliary arc, because my front can't see your...
I actually think that I would redirect these onto my rear arc. My true rear arc.
The real one.
Yeah.
And then, looks like both attacks are obstructed no matter what, but I'm going to use my port side arc to shoot at your front because I want to get that damage somewhere where my other ships can help out. So it's 4 red and up 2 blue. I'll fire. And then I'll have to spend a defense token there. I'm quite happy with that damage roll. I will just leave it where it is. That is a total of 8.
That's pretty good.
With crits.
Well, I know I'm going to want to brace that. And I'm going to want to redirect that. And this is side, correct?
Your front.
My front arm, okay. Yeah, I'm going to split that between my front and my left side.
So again, for those of you who can't see, he only has a single point of shields on the entire front half of his Super Star Destroyer over here on the right. So that is all of my shooting from the MC-80. I'm moving with Navigate command, so hopefully I can avoid getting double arced, because that almost spelled my end last turn.
And did you spend your other token from Emperor Palpatine?
Yes, I did.
Great.
So I'm going to attempt this maneuver to get my front arc towards you. I'm going to remove. Can you remove me from the stand there?
Yes.
So I'm going to tuck in on the side. I've actually gone too far and given him a port auxiliary and rear double arc. His rear arc is 3 dice, so not the greatest, but still a threat to a ship so badly damaged as this.
But you got full shields on your front.
Yes, I do have shields on my front. That's what I was trying to do, is get my side arc out of the way of as much as possible. Okay. You're Raider.
I'm just going to reveal a navigation command. I'm going to gain a shield on my rear.
Yep.
And then do have a shot from my right, I think. I can't shoot any fighters. I guess I'm out of range of that too. Okay.
Yeah, you're just barely out of range.
So what I'm going to do, I think, here is take my speed down, or actually stay at speed 2. I think I would just actually might kick my speed up and try to come around.
Yeah.
To harass those other ships. So I would just make a turn. And this way I can turn around and orient myself on another round.
Right.
Come screaming in, hopefully, and deliver a late attack.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, I will activate my Pelta over here. The Concentrate Fire command. I want to get as much damage out here as I can. My shield's maximum doesn't matter because I haven't been shot at yet. So I'm just going to shoot. First, my side arc into your starboard side at close range. Unfortunately, all the action's happening on the other side of the board here.
Yeah.
1 damage with an accuracy. By accuracy, nothing. 1 damage. Yeah, 1 shield left there.
Yeah. I'll just absorb that on my shield.
And then my front is going to fire at the same hull zone. For 3 crits and an accuracy. I will accuracy your green brace.
Okay.
I gotta spend tokens off of that, but there's no more shooting happening, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, I'm going to contain this.
Yep.
And I think it's worth ditching a brace over. No, it's not. I think it's not going to take enough damage down. I'm just going to take that hull damage
Okay.
and just contain that crit.
All right, so that's up to 5 out of 22.
Almost there.
And then my Pelta is going to...
He's got 6 to go
For the
ship-
halfway
before
point.
the halfway
I can
point.
get to
Right.
there
Which is
without
more telling.
overlapping my squadron. So I'm going to tuck up to there. I will hit the debris field, so I'll take 2 shields, but this guy's at full health, so I don't really care about that. And that makes my Nebulon B's attacks unobstructed here. So, concentrating fire.
Nice, nice.
So this Super Star Destroyer is so long, despite pointing my the bow of my Nebulon B at him, I still have a side arc attack at a different hull zone. So I'm going to throw 1 red die at long range. Oh, that's obstructed, just barely. Okay. So just a front arc attack at long range. 3 red dice. I will concentrate fire in a red die. So 2 accuracies, a blank and a crit. I will use dual turbo laser turrets to add a red die. I'll remove that blank. Don't really need 2 accuracies. I'm out of range of home 1. So that is my attack. The crit counts double. I will accuracy your green brace. I'll actually, your green brace and your green contain. There we go.
I think it's worth avoiding a critical hit over that. And
I'm going to spend a defense token because of Palpatine.
I don't think it's worth the damage, so I'm just going to take 3 damage. So I'm at 8 now.
8.
Okay.
On the left.
And then I scoot forward at speed 1. Scoot, scoot, doop. And then last, but definitely not least, the squadron phase. All the fighters I've set up make their attacks. So this Y-Wing is going to attack your front with 1 black bomber die for a single hit.
Okay. I will attack. Take 1 damage back.
Taking 1 damage. My X-Wing will attack your starboard side with 1 red bomber die for a crit.
I would like to contain that.
Okay. So it's just a hit.
Yep.
And how many cut damage cards do you have?
I believe that takes me to 10. Yes, that is 10.
So this A-Wing,
Oh, here it is.
as the last attack of the round,
Oh man.
it's going to come in and make its attack. 1 black die, no bomber, and get a hit. And take a damage in return.
Fitting.
But not enough to prevent the Super Stardestroyer from being holed almost catastrophically.
All right, so I've dealt 11 damage out of his 22. I've gotten him to half health at this point. So if the game were ending right now, I would score half of that chip's point cost, and then because of opening salvo, half of its point cost again. So that's quite
Pretty big.
Yep, I've effectively destroyed it. Actually, I won't get any more points for destroying it at this point.
Sure.
Although I would have to keep dealing damage to him to prevent him from repairing some of that damage away by the end of the game.
Right, exactly.
But it sticks around, and it still gets to make 3 attacks every round.
Yeah, so you would definitely have the chance to shoot back and rack up some more of your own points
Yes.
before the end of the game.
My assault cruiser is almost certainly going down. It's taken a lot of damage, but it's managed to hold on. Drew enough of your attention, although I didn't want it to draw that much attention. Because my Pelta and my Nebulon B over here are pretty fresh and facing all these open shields on the starboard side.
And I get the chance to make some repairs
Yeah,
as the game goes on.
Absolutely.
So I have the chance, narrow, but of getting myself above that, that really bad hull level.
all right. Well, that was us showing off the Super Stardestroyer. Do you guys
Yep.
have anything else that you want
Great.
to share with the fans who are watching, to tell them about this ship? As we just announced at Adepticon, I guess we'll say, so it has unfortunately been delayed a bit. We're currently looking at early in the 3rd quarter of this year that the Super Stardestroyer will come out. We're doing obviously everything in our power to bring it to you guys as fast as humanly possible. We want this out just as much as anybody. Anything else you guys want to say?
I'm just glad we could get on camera and talk about this ship.
Yeah.
It's been a real passion project for all of us, I think.
Absolutely.
It's the biggest mini we've ever done. It's fun to play.
Yeah,
It's
obviously.
very fun, and it's fun to play against.
It's a Super Stardestroyer.
You looked quite delighted throwing that many dice, So thank you everybody so much for watching. Make sure that you hit the bell icon so that you are notified, and subscribe so that you can find us whenever we are live, whenever we're posting new content. We're going to be back this Thursday. We're going to be playing Arkham Horror, the card game. We're going to do some of the Circle Undone cycle. We're going to be live this Thursday, and actually next Monday as well, which is a break from our usual. Normally we stream Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're going to do it on Monday next week because Star Wars Celebration is next week. We're very excited. We have lots of Star Wars stuff coming out of that. So make sure that if you happen to be there, come and see us. Otherwise, keep an eye on the website and our YouTube and Twitch channels and see what there is to see. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, etc., social media. Thank you everyone so much for watching. We'll see you next time.